Good day, everybody. Today is a beautiful Saturday in the first part of May, and uh, I want to grow some spaghetti squash. And the unique thing about how we're going to do it is we're going to grow them from some spaghetti squash that came from a grocery store. My daughter has been cooking spaghetti squash, the different recipes, and so she's gotten very good at it. And one day she's like, "Well, I wonder if you could grow these. I just say the seeds. I wonder if you can grow them in the garden this year." So I said, "Well, you know what? Let's try it." I sprouted them out in some peat moss, and they were actually very easy to sprout out. So it would, ready to put them in the ground. And like I said, the unique thing about growing vegetables that you get out of your grocer is that you don't know exactly how they were grown because a lot of them been grown from a commercial grower. So uh, it can be tricky trying to plant the seed from those vegetables. But we're gonna have a little fun. We got a little space here at the back part of our garden, and I think it'll be a good location because it stays kind of cool back here. Uh, this mid morning. So as the day progresses, the shade gets even more and more and more. So they'll get a good amount of direct sun, and then in the evening it'll kind of be shaded back here. So I think that'll be a good environment for these spaghetti squash to grow in. We're also going to amend our soil back here. I'm going to plant them about 3 feet apart, like I do my regular squash, and I'm going to put some black cow manure, compost. It's like a composted manure. I'm gonna put that, about a shovel full in our hole. Okay, y'all. So let's get started. Let's gonna mix in, like I said, about 50-50 of our native soil and our composted cow manure. So by putting this compost in our soil, it should give us back a lot of nutrients that we might have lost from our previous crop. And we want our root system to go right out into this little composted area. We want that plant to feel that it's in a good environment. So we got a pretty good root structure started. They've been sitting on these trays a little bit. That's why these starter leaves are starting to yellow, and they putting out the the next round of leaves. So we just rough them up a little bit so they get rid of that root bound stage as fast as possible. And we want to just tuck it in right there, right at the base of the root, the base of where our little plant was growing in that little container. Then we're gonna just create a little swale right around it. So when we come out in water, or if we get some rain, it'll that water will focus right down on that root system. So I always put a swale around any little plant that I do. It's a very very important step, and I always come out every other day and water them, douse them with a little water to help them get established. I do that for the first week or so. Then when I see new leaves starting, then I'll cut back on that. Unless of course we get some rainfall, then I don't worry about watering them. But I use rainwater. I collect rainwater, and I always water my plants with rainwater if I can. All right, so I feel pretty good about how we got them planted. We're gonna do the rest of the other four this way. Okay, y'all, we got everything planted in the ground. Got 6 squash plants. So I look forward to watching them grow and providing you with some updates along the way, and we'll show you the next steps as we go along. Thanks for watching so far. Okay, y'all, we back with the update on the spaghetti squash. So they're looking pretty good. I put the trellises around them. I don't suspect that the trellises will, completely contain them. I just, will keep them from getting growing too crazy out of the outside of the row. So, but it's already forming a few spaghetti squash, and it's which I want those spaghetti squashes growing to be kind of in the trellis when they're growing. Um, and they're blooming real well. At first, I was wondering how many we get because I saw a lot of male blooms. They bloom just like any other squash. You can tell the male blooms because they'll be like on that little long stick right there. There's a male bloom, just like any other squash or zucchini plant. And then you can tell the female blooms because that squash will just start. It didn't have a stem. It just immediately have a little fat stem at the short fat stem at the bottom, and then you'll see it growing the fruit very quickly. So, but I really don't need but about 3 or 4, 2 or 3 per plant. I don't know if I want to grow a lot per plant because I want each, spaghetti squash to really do well. So, and it is going to be kind of like a interesting to, grow these since you don't know what kind of seeds they come from, or it could have been some kind of hybrid. But looking good so far. I have put, I did get some rainfall about 4 or 5 days ago, and I took advantage of that before I put the trellises on them to go ahead and fertilize them. So I gave a pretty generous helping of triple 13 granule fertilizer, just kind of side dressed them or just broadcast it around the whole plant. And, did about 2 heaping handfuls, so did quite a bit of it. So hopefully that'll get them a little bit of a boost. And we got some good soil, composted soil that they're growing in, so they should be fine. I may hit a little fertilizer on them a little later if it look like they need it. But I think we done all we need to do right now. We're just gonna watch them grow, and we'll come back a little later. Okay, y'all, we're back with the spaghetti squash. So this is the first part of July, July 3rd. So they still, spaghetti squash take a long time to get right. They're not like a regular summer squash with the thin skin. They get right real fast. They do sit on there a while. Went ahead and start spraying them for the squash bug as well, because that's a problem that sometimes you have. Also, I learned it's best to just try to keep your squash off the ground. That's one good thing about growing them in a trellis. Sometimes you can get them to, if they can grow up off the ground into that trellis, that's fine. And then I also just start putting them on top of some old saucers that I had, and then I just spray the ground, around the saucer and spray up under the saucer, and then just set them on that. So they got a good, clean environment to grow on, and also it'll help cut down on pests, getting into them. So, okay, y'all, we want to go ahead and sum up the video, and I want to sum it up by saying you can successfully grow spaghetti squash from seed from a spaghetti squash in the grocery store, because that is proof of it. We got a nice spaghetti squash there. We got one over here, right there. That one is ready to harvest actually because of that dark orange color, and then the skin is hard, like you need them to be. This one right here, we're gonna let it sit a little bit longer, but we're gonna do another harvest video, and we're gonna come back and harvest it, and we're also gonna do a cooking demonstration. But there is another one that's nice. There's another one that's real small, but it's still good. That one is a nice one that's ready to harvest, and we got that one right there. It's gonna be a good one, and we're gonna go ahead and harvest that one as well. But um, my philosophy on it is you can, successfully grow spaghetti squash from one that you got in the store. So this was real fun to do the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna save the seeds from these spaghetti squash, and we're going to replant them in years to come, and maybe we can just develop our own variety of spaghetti squash that's adapted to our soil conditions and our growing conditions. So this was real fun to do. Some mistakes I think I made is I wish I had probably got them out a little bit sooner. If I had got them in the ground maybe at the first part of March, because the little plants, the cool weather we experienced wouldn't have hurt them. Just make sure you put the same care in them as you do your summer squash, and keep an eye out for squash bugs. Make sure you treat around the ground. Try not to spray unnecessary to fruit, but just the same methodology. As far as fertilizing, I put a little bit of triple 13 on them. I think I did about 2 rounds of triple 13. We had a little bit of a dry period earlier on, and I did come out and put some the Liquid Miracle-Gro, at least 2 treatments of Liquid Miracle-Gro around them when I watered my other vegetables. So, we did a little bit of fertilizing. For the most part, they were pretty easy to grow, so I don't know. I really enjoyed it. We're going to come back and do a harvest and cooking demonstration. So I think that'll be fun. and I'm gonna, have my daughter to do that. I'm gonna try to get her to do it, and because she's the one that got me hooked on the spaghetti squash and started cooking them, and that's the one we got from the grocery store. Was one that she cooked, so I think it'll be fun to, to do a cooking demonstration off one we grew from a grocery store, one that we cooked. So watch out for that video. If you really enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and you'll hit the notification button so you can be notified for more videos. And please subscribe to AG Outside. Thanks and have a good day.